everyone, I hope you're all having a lovely day. So today I am building a medieval inspired family home in Windenburg on the Havisham house lot. It's a 20 by 20 lot that I don't think I've ever built on before, and when I come round to doing some of these roofing bits I remembered why. The bounce on the camera on this lot is probably one of the worst for me, so I don't particularly like building on it, but I thought this house would be really nice on this particular lot because it fits the style of the world. It's quite a small house, and you know, I just haven't really built anything in Windenburg for a little while, so I definitely wanted to come back here. And I've kind of been in a bit of a self-doubt headspace the last couple of weeks with my building. I just haven't been able to do like exactly what I wanted. It hasn't come out exactly how I wanted it, and which is probably why I haven't had quite as many videos out. So I definitely wanted to go back to something that I was really comfortable with, and this style is definitely that. I've been watching a lot of Hell of Ditty's Let's Play. It's like a medieval legacy challenge, and I am absolutely in love with it. I'm obsessed with it. So if you would like to check it out, I will link the channel or the playlist, everything in the description. I highly recommend going to have a look at it if you like challenge gameplay, story-based gameplay, historical gameplay, anything like that. Then definitely go and give it a watch because I think you will really enjoy it. So this house is a 2-bedroom home. I was looking through the challenge rules, and quite a lot of the different generations say like you can only have X amount of rooms, so I wanted to try and limit the amount of rooms that are in this house, try and make it kind of as historically accurate whilst staying in the fantasy realm as I possibly could. So all of downstairs is open plan, and then there is actually a tiny little like toilet room behind these stairs because it was such an awkward space and I needed to fill it in because my brain wouldn't just let me have nothing there. And then upstairs there is 2 bedrooms exactly the same size. They're 4x4 square bedrooms, but one of them has a double bed and the other one has the bunk beds, like 2 single beds, and there's a toddler bed. And I think I've put a crib in like the double bedroom as well, so you can have 5 Sims and a baby. It is quite small downstairs though, so if you were going to have like a full household you probably would need to extend it out by maybe a tile or 2, but I really liked the shell of the house, so I didn't want to make it any bigger than what it already was. But yeah, like I said, there is the tiny little room with the toilet in it. So no bathroom obviously, but you could turn that little square into a bathroom if you wanted to, but for historical accuracy purposes they didn't have bathrooms, so it wasn't really something that I felt I could include. I mean, they have running water since I've just put the sink down, so obviously that's not accurate at all, but you know, I've put the bathtub in front of the fireplace, which is a little bit more accurate. And then usually they probably would have had like an outhouse or just use the river, I don't know. But I wanted to put a toilet in just for, you know, playability because of the limitations with the game. You know, we can't do full historical gameplay, you can kind of just do what you can with it, so that's kind of why I've included the little toilet behind the stairs. There's my story. But this lounge room, like I was saying about maybe extending it by a tile, because I have included the bathtub, it is a little bit small. There isn't really like a proper lounge room in here, but I have included 1 rocking chair because in my mind I thought, you know, you're not to leave children unattended in the bath, are you? So you know, you might have one of the parents doing some knitting or some crocheting or something whilst the children are, you know, just playing in the tub in the fire, you know. That was my idea. So as for decorations, I've tried to keep them minimal and in a material that kind of would have been around the time period. I mean, there are some things that probably wouldn't have, but I quite liked the look of them anyway. So I've included a picnic basket in the kitchen that I have filled with like some of the harvestables, and then I've tried to imagine that a lot of the pots and things like that are made of clay maybe, so some of them you can definitely see are made of like glass or ceramic or something, which I don't think they would have had, but I thought if I can pretend that they're made of clay, then hopefully that will, you know, work too. I included the picture from this, it's from the Spooky Stuff pack, on the wall above the fireplace. I thought it looked the most time period appropriate of what nobility would perhaps wear. I mean, that's the closest I could get. So hopefully it works. And the other pictures are all from the Get Together pack, so they're all this like black and white portrait paintings. You can't really make out what they're wearing exactly, so hopefully they fit okay, but who knows. So obviously in this bedroom I had to include the werewolves beds because they look really cool. You know, they're patchwork, they are the right wood tone, they're not too bright a color. I mean, the toddler bed is a little bit too bright, but you know, the other two work really well, I think. So that's really cool. I did include these pictures from the werewolves pack on the walls. They probably are completely wrong historically, but I thought they were really cute and I didn't know what else to put on the walls. I was really struggling, especially in this bedroom where I've put this crib. I end up putting a little armchair next to the crib, like in between the crib and the dresser. But every style that I liked was a little bit too modern, and the one that I go with in the end I think is from maybe Outdoor Retreat, or no, Jungle Adventure. It's the Jungle Adventure one, and the cushion on it is a little bit too bright but I think it looks okay in there. And I have play tested the whole thing, so everything works, luckily. As for the other decorations, I tried to go with things that were a little bit duller in color, so like the aprons and the broom. They probably wouldn't have that plastic dustpan but we don't really have anything else, so I thought that was the most appropriate one. I probably could have used the hanging one from Realm of Magic, actually. That's probably a little bit more appropriate. I didn't think about that till right now. So yeah, this is a chair I was talking about. That cushion is completely wrong, but I couldn't really find one. The other one that I liked had a bright orange seat, and that wouldn't have worked either, so I just went with that one because I thought it was cute. So yeah, this is the picnic basket that I was talking about. I've just filled it with a bunch of the harvestables, and out in the back garden I've put 6 crop plots down from the cottage living pack, and I thought they kind of looked the most appropriate because they look like you've, you know, put the harvestables in the ground, which I probably could have done. I mean, they only cost 10 simoleons each, the patches, so you know, you don't have to include those. You could just plant them directly into the ground, but I liked the texture on them so I definitely want to include those. The soap, I just wanted like a plain bar of soap, but that was the only one that we have. And the brush that I put on the stool next to the bathtub is actually the one that your Sims used to clean the grills on, like the barbecues, but I thought they looked really cool, so I thought I would just stick that there. I've done it a couple times and I just really like the look of it. So I tried to stick with base game only, I think, landscaping. I think there's actually a couple things from Cottage Living, like the little grass pieces, because I needed to fill in a couple gaps. Like you can see there's one here between the house and the garden plots, and just filling it in with terrain paint, it didn't really work. So they were the only thing that I could really think of to include. I did put the little rabbit stump and the bird tree down because I created a sim before I went in to build this house and I gave her the animal enthusiast aspiration, and I wanted her to have a little bit more animals than just chickens. So I didn't have enough space obviously for a cow or a llama shed or anything, so yeah, the birds and the rabbits were kind of the next best thing. I do that quite a lot. I end up creating sims for whatever build that I'm have in mind, and then when I come to actually want to add all of the different bits and pieces that would work with their personality, I don't have enough space. So I kind of had to just make do. I did include the laundry tub and the washing line just for realism purposes. I like my sims doing chores that I don't particularly like doing myself. I don't know why. And what was the other thing I did? Oh, the swing set. I did include the island living swing set because I think that looks the most handmade. The other one, I think from Seasons, has got like metal pieces on it, and I was trying to avoid things that had screws and things in. The lanterns, or like the street lamps that you can kind of see, I've only included 2, are from Get Famous. I don't think they are off the grid. I wasn't entirely sure, so they didn't come up in the category for off the grid, so I assume they're probably not, but they are the only thing that's not off the grid. Everything else is. So you can delete them if you want to play full off the grid, otherwise they just won't work. Luckily, if you have the trait on, but I thought they just added that nice little fantasy element to it. So the last thing that I'm doing is covering the whole lot in different terrain paints. I wanted it to be a little bit more detailed than just the plain grass, and then I add these things in. So I think the only other thing that I do at the end is add some ivy and some flower boxes on the front, but that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. It's on the gallery already, and the tray files will be on Tumblr. I still need to upload the last one actually, so I'll do both of them today. But yeah, I really hope you like it, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye everyone.
I don't know about tomorrow, but I have something for today. I can't be caring for others, not just living for myself. If I stop just for a moment, I won't lose this morning sun. If I'll try just to look forward, I will see the morning dawn. I will see